1 Samuel 9. There was a Benjamite man named Kish, son of Abiel, the son of Zerar, the son of Bechorath, the son of Aphiah of Benjamin. Kish was a prominent person. He had a son named Saul, a handsome lad. There was no one among the Israelites more handsome than he was. He stood head and shoulders above all the people. The donkeys of Saul's father Kish wandered off. So Kish said to his son Saul, "Take one of the servants with you and go look for the donkeys." So Saul crossed through the hill country of Ephraim, passing through the land of Shalisha, but they did not find them. So they crossed through the land of Salem, but they were not there. Then he crossed through the land of Benjamin, and still they did not find them. When they came to the land of Zuph, Saul said to his servant who was there, "Come on, let's head back before my father quits worrying about the donkeys and becomes anxious about us." But the servant said to him, "Look, there is a man of God in this town. He is highly respected. Everything he says really happens. Now let's go there. Perhaps he will tell us where we should go from here." So Saul said to his servant, "All right, we can go. But what can we bring the man since the food in our bags is used up? We have no gift to take the man of God. What do we have?" Then the servant answered Saul, "Look, I happen to have in my hand a quarter shekel of silver. I will give it to the man of God, and he will tell us where we should go." Now it used to be in Israel that whenever someone went to inquire of God, he would say, "Come on, let us go to the seer." For today's prophets used to be called seers. So Saul said to his servant, "That's a good idea. Come on, let's go." So they went to the town where the man of God was. As they were going up the ascent to the town, they met some girls coming out to draw water. They said to them, "Is this where the seer is?" They replied, "Yes, straight ahead, but hurry now, for he came to the town and the people are making a sacrifice at the high place. When you enter the town, you can find him before he goes up to the high place to eat. The people won't eat until he arrives, for he must bless the sacrifice. Once this happens, those who've been invited will eat. Now go on up, for this is the time when you can find him." So they went up to the town. As they were heading to the middle of the town, Samuel was coming in their direction to go up to the high place. Now the day before Saul arrived, the Lord had told Samuel, "At this time tomorrow I will send to you a man from the land of Benjamin. You must consecrate him as leader over the people of Israel. He will save my people from the hand of the Philistines, for I have looked with favor on my people. Their cry has reached me." When Samuel saw Saul, the Lord said, "Here is the man that I told you about. He will rule over my people." As Saul approached Samuel in the middle of the gate, "Please tell me where the seer's house is." Samuel replied to Saul, "I am the seer. Go up in front of me to the high place. Today you will eat with me, and in the morning I will send you away. I will tell you everything that you are thinking. Don't be concerned about the donkeys that you lost 3 days ago, for they have been found. Whom does all Israel desire? Is it not you and your father's family?" Saul replied, "Am I not a Benjamite from the smallest of Israelite tribes? And is not my family clan the smallest of all the clans of the tribe of Benjamin? Why do you speak to me in this way?" Then Samuel brought Saul and his servant into the room and gave them a place at the head of those who were invited. There were about 30 people present. Samuel said to the cook, Give me the portion of meat that I gave you, the one I asked you to keep with you. So the cook picked up the leg and brought it and set it in front of Samuel and said, What was kept is now set before you. Eat, for it has been kept for you for this meeting time, from the time I said, I have invited the people. So Saul ate with Samuel that day. When they came down from the high place to the town, Samuel spoke to Saul on the roof. They got up at dawn, and Samuel called to Saul on the roof, Get up, so I can send you on your way. So Saul got up, and the two of them, he and Samuel, went outside. While they were going to the edge of the town, Samuel said to Saul, Tell your servant to go on ahead of us. So he did. Samuel then said, You remain here a while so I can go inform you of God's message. So we just have him ending again in the middle of a conversation. Why can't we have chapter breaks at the end of stories? Yes, can you tell that these, I want to keep going in the story. All right, let me get caught up on anything in chat. So now we have the story of a Benjamite man, and we're getting the family line here. So there's a man named Cush, who is the son of Abiel, who is the son of Zeror, who is the son of Bechorath, who is the son of Aphiah of Benjamin. So there's the lineage. And now we have Kish was a prominent person. So Kish is well known. Kish is out there, and he has a young son named Saul, who's a handsome lad. And he's also a foot taller than everyone else. So he's the most handsome man in the land, and he's taller than everyone else. This sounds like exactly what you want to find for a king if you're one of the other nations. Okay? We'll get to later on. Oh, also, we haven't got to him being anointed as king, other than we have the promise that there will be one, and later on in the story, we have Samuel having a word from God saying, here's the man I told you about. So we're foreshadowing, and we want to stick with that. We know it's coming. We already know the story, but this sounds like he'd make a good king. That's what we're supposed to be thinking. He'd make a good thing, but the king is, but he's from the tribe of Benjamin. Should we pay attention to that? We should. Now, he sends him out looking for donkeys. The donkeys have wandered off. Donkeys are an interesting thing. Donkeys aren't always a good thing that's reliable with a story. I know there's some other ones. I can never remember what they are, where there are people looking for donkeys. There's a couple of stories. So if you want to go dive into this deeper, go look for stories in the Bible where there are people wandering, looking for donkeys. I think there's 2 or 3 other stories like that. Anyway, so he sends them out looking for donkeys. They can't find the donkeys. Let me see. It's nope, it's just telling us text. He went out and arose to do that. So he goes over here. He goes over there. He goes over here. They're going all around. So we're getting a little bit of blow by blow. They went this day. They went that day. They went another day. And now, here they are in the location of Benjamin, and they're going through the land, and they come to the land of Zuph. Saul said to his servant, come on, let's head back. So Saul is like, hey, we've been searching for the donkeys for a while. My dad's going to start worrying about us. We've been gone for 3 days. How often do people go for 3 days and then suddenly they're missed? It happens frequently in Scripture. Jacob is gone a 3-day journey when suddenly they are missed, and Laban starts chasing them down. So it's a motif of gone 3 days, then you're missed, then they search for you. I believe Jesus isn't quite 3 days. It's 3 days before they find him, so they're gone a day, and then they realize he's gone the next day, and they return a day's journey, and then a day to search the city, that kind of a thing. So similar 3 days of missing is a motif for sure. But the servant says, hey, BT Dubs, there is a seer here. There's a man of God here. There's a prophet here, and he might be able to tell us what we need to know. And Saul's like, well, we can't go up to him without an offering. We have to give him something to, as an offering to give to God so that we can inquire of him. And the servant's like, Saul's like, we used up all the food. We can't do that. And his servant's like, hey, I got a shekel. I got a quarter shekel in my hand. I got something. Okay. The servant has a quarter shekel, about 1/10 of an ounce. So whatever that is. He's got that. He's got a quarter. Let's go up. So, all right, let's go up. And there's some girls that happen to be coming out and to get water. probably the right time of day. If this meal is going to be happening, they're getting water for the meal. They're going to go up to it, and they tell him, hey, the seer is going to be available right before he goes up. He's going to do the sacrifice. He's going to do all these things. There's a big to-do happening. You can catch him before that all happens. Okay, great. Good news. We're going to find him. They enter into the town. They're walking in, and now we have God talking to Samuel. So as they went up in the middle of the street, Samuel was coming in their direction up to the high place. Now, the day before Saul arrived, now we're going back a day. Samuel was told, at this time tomorrow, I will send a young man from the land of Benjamin. You must consecrate him as leader over my people, Israel. He will save my people from the hand of the Philistines. So I'm sending you the king tomorrow. You're to consecrate him. So I'm sending you this man. So he knows the moment that this happens, because here is the man I told you about. God speaks to him. He will rule over my people. Boom. We know it's Saul. Okay. God has picked Saul. So God told him what kind of king they're going to get. They're going to get him. Samuel replied to Saul, I'm the seer. Let's go up. We're going to have this meal. He invites him in. Today we'll eat, and in the morning I'll send you on your way. Don't be concerned about the donkeys. By the way, they've been found. So you can rest at ease here. You don't have to rush back because of all of this. You are welcome to come. And then they go up to the meal. Wait, before we get there. Saul's reply sounds a whole lot like Gideon's. Am I not a Benjamite? Am I not of the smallest tribe? Is my family not the smallest clan? And am I not the smallest clan in my family, or my family in my clan? Like, you can't be talking about me. You can't be talking about me when you are trying to give honor. Like, Saul has a complex of some kind where he sees himself as inferior, which you would think would be a good thing. That would cause him to trust and rely on God, but as we'll see as we go along, it doesn't turn out that way. So he has an inferiority complex. That's what I was trying to think. He has an inferiority complex, and it plays throughout his whole time as king, where he's always trying to overcompensate for his thoughts about himself, which should not be true. It's not a humility thing, okay? Because he is the tallest, he's taller than everyone else, and he is good looking. He's not prideful in this way. He has an inferiority complex. He feels awkward because he stands out different than everybody else. So Samuel brings him in, brings him to the festival. He calls on the servant to bring the special portion that was set aside. He brings it in. He sets it before Saul so that Saul can eat. When they came down from the high place, so they have this big festival. Saul is honored. His servant is honored. Samuel tells him it's going to be. Saul is like just puzzled and doesn't understand and wants no part of this, to, what's going on. They come down. Samuel speaks to Saul on the roof. They go up at dawn, and Samuel called Saul to the roof. Get up so I can go and send you on your way. So Saul got up and sent the two on their way. He sent to Samuel and he went outside. While they're at the edge of town, Samuel said to Saul, tell your servant to go on ahead. So he did. Samuel then said, remain here a while so I can inform you of God's message. So send your servant on the way. Your servant can bring news of everything that's transpired, that you're okay. The servant can go give the message, but you're to remain here. And then we just get interrupted in the story and we don't keep going forward because of a chapter break. But anyway, so we're right in the middle of what happens next. What happens next is what we really, really want to know.